Good evening, I'm Sangeeta, Kandola. Environmentalists in London were today determined to get their voices heard, including that of teenage activist Greta Thunberg, ahead of COP26, when leaders from around the world will come together to discuss climate change. Earlier, people in central London held a vigil for what they say is the future of the world. Ria Chatterjee reports.
We spot Sebastian in the small crowd with his mother. A reminder that global summits mean something locally.
1, 2, 3.
Have you got written on your phone?
It's the lyrics. So we write original music for most of our protests.
So the message here?
The message here is, to stop building this tunnel, to stop greenwashing, stop polluting our air.
When I lived in Newham, I lived 2 roads back from the A13. On that grass, when my children played outside on it, their feet would be black on the bottom.
The activists here say they want big financial firms to stop bankrolling projects like the Silvertown Tunnel,
Can we have a chat to you from ITV News?
which will link Silvertown to the Greenwich Peninsula, reducing congestion and creating jobs, says Transport for London.
Why does this matter to you so much? Why is it so personal?
Well, one, I've got kids. 2, I've got kids. 3, I've got kids. I've got 3 kids. 2 of them are young at home with me. I want them to breathe fresh air. One of the reasons we moved from Newham to where we are at the moment in Greenwich is to get fresh air. But the problem is just going to follow us.
System change or climate change!
Today is officially called the Day of Action. And capturing the moment, Greta Thunberg, here on a quiet side street in the heart of the city.
You're 4. Is this your first protest?
Back to Sebastian and his mum. Why are they here?
Wow, I'm impressed.
The one thing that would keep me awake at night is this climate crisis. This is just a rock that we are on, and it will be fine without us.
How do you feel about that?
Ria Chatterjee, ITV News.
A Met police officer has been charged with a number of child sex offences. Detective Constable Francois Oroge was arrested yesterday in Basingstoke. His charges include meeting a girl who is under 16 and grooming. The case has been referred to the Independent Office for Police Conduct, and Oroge has been suspended. The police have released an image of a man they want to speak to following an allegation of sexual assault on a bus in Croydon. The female victim was sat on the 468 bus at 10:15 at the end of August. And a group of Insulate Britain protesters caused major disruption by walking into oncoming traffic on the M25 this morning. Essex police arrested 10 people and said both carriageways were reopened within 30 minutes. The Mayor of London is urging the government to make face coverings mandatory on public transport. It comes as cases of COVID remain high. For over a week, more than 40,000 people have tested positive every day in the UK. At the moment, people can be turned away from travelling on the TfL network, but it's no longer a legal requirement to wear a mask. Sam Holder reports.
Despite July's change in law, Transport for London still insists on face coverings for passengers. Not that the rule seems to be taken very seriously. With cases higher now than this time last year, partly due to increased testing, the Mayor of London wants extra powers for enforcement. Today, he received his booster vaccine and flu jab.
We've got to make sure now there's no complacency. What I'd like the government to do was to bring back the law there used to be so we could use the police, British Transport Police, to enforce face mask wearing on public transport.
On Tooting Broadway, broad agreement with the Mayor. Would you support the police enforcing people wearing masks on the tube?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wear them all the time anyway.
Better masks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's better to wear masks?
Yeah.
Have you got a mask
better,
on?
yeah.
You're about to put it on?
Better.
You know, with cases going up, it seems like maybe that's the way forward.
I think people should wear masks on public transport if it's busy. But I think it should be down to the person in the situation, really.
There's definite evidence to suggest that if you have COVID, wearing a mask reduces the transmission to other people. And so we should be enforcing that to reduce transmission of the virus.
TfL's rules state that passengers must wear face coverings unless exempt. In theory, That means that staff members can stop people from boarding or kick people off if they refuse to comply. But as anybody who's taken the tube or bus recently knows, that simply isn't working as a deterrent. Unlike the fear of being arrested or fined by police. Since the law changed in July, less than 400 people have been stopped from using TfL services. 125 were asked to leave. But even back when it was a legal requirement, just over 1,700 people were prosecuted. The government currently does not believe wearing face masks is necessary. TfL strongly believes they make passengers safer. Much will depend on cases of COVID and flu in the coming weeks, and fears that catching both could lead to a huge rise in people going to hospital. Sam Holder, ITV News.
A specialist centre offering support for people with breast cancer has opened in London. It is the only non-medical service for men and women of its kind in the UK. It was the dream of mother and daughter Sylvie Henry and Danielle Leslie, who were both diagnosed with the disease, but died before the space became a reality. Anna Geary has more.
It's a space where those touched by breast cancer can come for a coffee and a chat. Future Dreams House, which is a stone's throw away from King's Cross, was set up in the hope that nobody has to suffer with the disease alone. The centre provides practical support too.
We offer a walk-in service for financial advice, group therapies, exercise, nutritional advice. We fit wigs for ladies who have tragically lost their hair during chemotherapy.
Although the centre has only just opened, the charity was started in 2008 by Spencer's wife Danielle and her mum Sylvie after they were both diagnosed with breast cancer. Tragically, they died 15 months apart. Sylvie was in her 60s, Danielle was just 40, a mum to 3 young children.
For me, it's been a way with the kids of keeping their mummy alive, keeping them involved with her.
A legacy that has helped women like Claire. She was diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago, and during 16 rounds of chemotherapy, double breast surgery, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, as well as a hysterectomy before getting the all clear, she found emotional comfort within the charity.
Nobody really knows what you're going through unless they've gone through it themselves. And the special thing about Future Dreams is that almost all the women you meet have had a diagnosis and they truly know what you are going through. So it's like being part of a big family, big community that really understands your journey, and that support is absolutely vital.
Vital particularly with the disruption to breast cancer care because of COVID. It's thought around 1.5 million people were not screened for the disease during the pandemic.
We know that breast cancer patients do much better prognostically if we can find them early, and we have definitely seen across the UK, and I personally have seen patients who unfortunately have not presented when they would normally have done.
The coronavirus also caused financial hardship for charities like this one. Whilst delighted to launch, trustees are urging Londoners to support them in keeping services running well into the future. Anna Geary, ITV News.
Fantastic work. Right, there was rain and scattered showers all day today. Let's hope it's better tomorrow. Here's Holly Green with the all-important forecast for the weekend.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV London weekend weather.
Good evening. I think the weather might be a bit of a fright at times for this weekend. Having said that, there will be some bright weather too. I think Saturday afternoon is going to be the best bit of the weekend, probably. Some heavy rain, though, in the forecast, and temperatures tending to fall away a bit compared to recent days. So taking a look at the bigger picture, this feature affected us earlier before clearing through. This feature heads our way for tomorrow morning, bringing some heavy rain, and then low pressure dominates come Sunday. That will bring some further rain through a good portion of the day, actually. Some strong winds around as well, but hopefully clearing through for some evening trick or treating. Out there at the moment, we've got some showers around, clear spells about too. A chillier night than we've seen of late as well. Last night we were all in double figures. Tonight, some of us dropping down into single digits. Tomorrow morning, though, quickly you'll notice gathering cloud, outbreaks of rain. This rain quite heavy, a fair bit of surface water around, and it's accompanied by some strong and squally winds as well. But brighter skies emerge. So into tomorrow afternoon, some sunshine on offer, a shower or two, but they are pretty few and far between. Temperatures fall away a bit. Unsettled for a few days after that, brighter but chillier by the middle of next week.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV London weekend weather.
And that is all for now. We're back on air tomorrow evening at 5:20. Until then, from everyone on the Late Team, do have yourselves a great weekend. Bye-bye.